Good morning to you all. It's Jason here. I had a video problem a second ago, so if you guys signed on and I deleted it, I apologize, but it was just an intro anyway, so you didn't miss much. What I wanted to go over this morning with you guys is something that's very interesting to me. When, Bernie and I first became realtors, there was a lot of things that we as consumers really didn't know. We're us, the people buying the houses, and I think it's a kind of cool thing to kind of pass along a couple of these things to help you guys, especially those of you that are looking to buy, into helping us as your realtors understand a little bit better about what you're looking for. So I want to touch base on that and a couple quick things on the lending side as well. So first of all, one of the things that we all assume when you start utilizing a realtor to help you out is it's almost like you think that we should just all be best friends right away, and you should be able to say, they should be able to know where you live now, and by where live now, what your opinions are. And we have to be really, really careful as realtors in sharing our opinions. And just to be, I'm being a little bit vague because I want to be very correct about this, the way I convey it. But the bottom line is I get this all the time when I'm speaking to people. It's like, I want to be in a good area with good schools. That's one of the first two things out of 5 that people will say to me. And here's the problem with that, and I think this is important, is what qualifies a good area? What qualifies a good school? Well, there's statistics, I get that. But for us to go on our map and start thumbing out different neighborhoods and stuff like that is really completely inappropriate. Because what's good to some people and what's good to others is completely different. What's important to some people and what's important to others is completely different. And I'm not going to just leave you with that. I'm going to try to help you tool-wise where this might help. And I'll give you an example. I hear all the time, especially with families with children and young children, like, it was really important to us having 3 6-year-olds in elementary school that we had a school system that would fit our family. Well, there's websites out there, and every time we have somebody that asks, we forward those websites that rate schools. It's public information, and they rate them from A to D or whatever, and those are there's data out there. When it comes to, so that's a tool that I utilize, that if somebody asks about school systems, we could forward you that. And I want to come back to this in a second. When it comes to what's a nice area or safe area, listen, there's a couple aspects to this, and this isn't us dancing around, us trying to help you. We want to help you as much as we can, and we have all the tools necessary to help you. But the thing is, when it comes to a nice area or safe area, there's statistics for that. There's crime rates and things like that we could forward you documentation. It's all public information. When you make an investment in a property, I want you to make sure that you guys understand the work, and I'm talking as a buyer myself, and I've gone through all this, the work that's necessary and important for you guys to also put in for your families or for yourselves. And there's tools to make it really easy on you. Now, I'll give you an example. Is a lot of people don't realize, like, through my system, let's say there's a school system that you like that's a middle school, and you've gone through it and said, I either want to be in this middle school or that middle school, and my friends are in there and I know the teachers here. We have a way to pull that up with just that criteria in there, and the other criteria that's interesting to you, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. I didn't really realize that when I was looking, and I want to share those things with you. We're able to pull those type of things up. We also are able to draw on a map certain areas. Let's say you do some homework and you feel comfortable living between Military and Jog and I'm just making up an area, by the way, Forest Hill and Okeechobee, just coming up with a out of the blue area, and that's your area. Well, guess what? We could zone out that area, put in your criteria, and every time there's new listings and things like that that come up, it gets published to us immediately, ASAP. So I don't. The reason I'm giving you this information is, as buyers and sitting on the other side, I didn't know all this was capable, and maybe I would have searched a certain way for my family at certain times in the past. So I want to share some of these basic things with you guys and kind of let you know, it makes it a lot easier. Also, as realtors, it's very important for us to be careful of what we ask. There's laws in place, fair housing laws and all these different things from housing to lending. And we have to be very cautious about that. And especially representing, buyers and helping them find a home is, feel free to be open and tell us what's important to you. We got to be cautious of what we ask. And I think that's a really important thing is, listen, if you want to, you're looking at a family-oriented neighborhood because you got 3 children, it's good information, to share with us. Why? Maybe when we're doing, lookups, we're looking, and looking at parks that are close by that might be great, that, you might have an interest in. But share information with us. Share information to help us. There's so many times I've done searches and, found out a little bit later after doing a couple searches that, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, even though it isn't cutting it because they're just realizing they don't have enough space because they have 2 kids and that wouldn't work. Well, you know what, maybe we could, identified that a little bit earlier on. And it's really basic remedial things that I don't know why people are so shy to share, or maybe they feel it's almost rude that a realtor doesn't say, hey, do you have kids? Well, we're really not supposed to ask that. We're really not supposed to ask certain things. So we have to dance around certain things professionally, but we're able to utilize the information that you share with us and choose to share with us. So don't be shy to communicate to us. We love that, and it helps us. Especially representing buyers, there's no bigger joy. I know for me personally, we did a closing not too long ago, and you just get this warm feeling of helping people. And that's why Bernie and I are doing what we're doing, is we love the idea of helping and seeing that joy of buying a home. We've been there, we've bought the home, we've got that feeling leaving closing, and the high fives in the parking lot and the hugs and the, oh my God, here we are. It's an amazing feeling. We love being part of that. So in your home buying process, make sure you communicate as much as you can. Communicate regarding whether a 2-story is not doable. If there's a disability. We have a son with a disability. We can't do 2 stories. Could you imagine if I never told that to an agent that I was on your side, and they're looking through houses and spending time and going through everything and sending me 10, 20 listings, and I pull them all up, and 80% of them are 2-story homes. There's a lot of 2 stories down here in Florida. Well, that doesn't work for me. But as a realtor, can they come up to me and say, hey, Jason, do you have any disabilities in your family? No, you can't do that. So it's up to me as a client, or you guys as a client, to inform us of that type of thing. It really matters. So these are just a few things. I'm going to think of other ones and maybe type them out, but I just want you guys to know is us as your realtors, it's important to communicate. Don't be shy. Share with us. It allows us to do more homework, dive in deeper, communicate with our colleagues, and especially that might have somebody similar properties and things like that. Our searches to make it so much easier. Now a little bit about the state of what's going on now, and I just want to make sure that you guys are prepared for this, and I think this is also important. Everybody's on the computers nowadays, and especially with as much time as we have, and searching around, and I get requests for showings and things like that, and I just want to make things you guys aware of certain things. I can't speak for every realtor. I'm going to speak for us and the importance, but I could also tell you what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing is, and the reason I'm sharing this with you is I think there's a lot of people that aren't factoring this in. it's important, and I said this at the beginning, I was going to talk about the lending side. It's really important right now to have your ducks in a row. This isn't a time, which I know you guys can relate to and understand. This isn't a time to just be going browsing and exposing yourself when that's not necessary. We don't need to do that. Nobody needs to do that. We don't need this exposure just because, next year you guys, might be looking and you want to just go browsing houses because there's time off of work. A lot of places, a lot of realtors, and I'll say myself, we to just go out there and do that right now is not a good idea for me personally. Now, I'm not suggesting that, and I'm going to come back to this whole topic because you guys are going, well, you're not working, you're not doing anything. Absolutely not. We are doing everything, but I'll explain that. What I'm trying to explain is, from a lending standpoint, make sure you have your ducks in a row. A lot of times, if you are in the market right now over the next couple months and looking to buy a home, we're here to help you. But no, from the other side, from the listing agent side, it's going to be challenging getting in these homes if you don't have a pre-qualification letter, if you don't have proof of funds. There's another party to a transaction. There's two parties, right? So the seller, do you think they want people in their homes just browsing right now, touching things and stuff like that? So just have that in mind. And it flips over to the other side, from the listing side too. It is, they're gonna, people want, make sure that the people are ready and qualified right now. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't be insulted by that. Don't feel like, well, you don't think I could buy a house, or you don't think I have the funds to do it. It has nothing to do with that. I promise you guys that. It has to do with exposure, making sure you're at the point you're ready. And if you're at the point where you're 6 months out or a year out from buying, trust me, every realtor that I know that I've run into, especially with our firm, would be happy to help you and do whatever we need to do. It's just from a showing standpoint, and there's ways to do it. There's ways to discuss properties, there's satellite views, there's all different types of ways to really look at, the areas and isolate things. Yes, you won't go in and touch the house, but truthfully, if you're 6 to 12 months out and you're touching a house today, do you think it's going to be in the market 6 or 12 months from now? So be realistic. There's ways to look at areas of interest and things like that. So I just want to throw that out. I think there's a lot of people not realizing that from a lending perspective, you got to kind of have everything in a row there if you're looking. And I think that's important to know. If you are in the market, 6 months or 3 months or 9 months down the road, there's nothing wrong with doing homework. We're here for you to do that. But just know, when it comes to showings, things have changed a little bit right now, especially, and everybody knows this, and everybody should be sensitive to it. So don't be insulted if one of your realtors or us ask you about pre-qualification, or ask you, proof of funds if you say you're paying cash. It's a safety thing for everybody, and that not just our side, it's from the listing side. There's a lot of people that won't, take contracts even before this happened, unless there's a proof of funds or pre-qualification. So it's not a crazy thing. I just don't want you guys to get blindsided if you're, sorry, I got a bee around me or something, but I just don't want you guys to get blindsided if you, call somebody, whether it's us or somebody else that you're working with, and they're like, no, I'm not going out with the showings. You're 6 months out. Don't take it as an insult. It's part of our industry right now, and us being cautious. So that being said, I just want to leave a few tidbits with you. I hope you guys are doing wonderful. I have an amazing project planned thanks to my niece that my kids don't know about yet. I'm very excited. Trying to think of fun projects to do if you have kids. Try to get out every day, do a little walk, do a bike ride, get some fresh air. Guys, make sure, I know I end this, make sure you're showering every morning. Just wake yourself up. Make it like it's part of the routine, like you are going to work. You don't have to do anything. You'll feel better, trust me. But get some fresh air. It's beautiful out. We've had incredible weather over the last week or two since this has kind of all transpired. That all being said, I wish you all a wonderful Friday, a great weekend ahead. Please reach out to us, and please tell everybody, about us. We're really, looking to establish ourselves in this area, and we are happy to help. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call, and we're looking forward to helping everybody. Have a great day, guys, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.